Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the course of Survey of Major English-Speaking Countries. Today, we're going to learn something about Chapter 1, the General Introduction of Great Britain. This lecture is about Lesson D, the General Introduction of Scotland. Scotland is a country that is a part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and the Northern Ireland. Sharing a border with England to the southeast, Scotland is otherwise surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean to the north and the west, the North Sea to the northeast, the Irish Sea to the south, and the North Channel to the southeast. The Kingdom of Scotland emerged as an independent state in the early Middle Ages and continued to exist until 1707. By inheritance in 1603, James VI, King of Scots, became King of England and King of Ireland, thus forming a personal union of the three kingdoms. Scotland subsequently entered into a political union with the Kingdom of England on May 1, 1707. To create the new Kingdom of Great Britain. The Union also created a new Parliament of Great Britain. In 1801, the Kingdom of Great Britain and the Kingdom of Ireland entered the political union that created the United Kingdom. Scotland is the second largest of the four nations, both in population and in geographic area. It is also the most confident of its own identity because it has spent a substantial period of history as a unified state independent of the United Kingdom. With thousands of years of history and Celtic influences, Scotland is a country with a rich history and unique traditions. Usually, Scottish people are often known for their open-minded spirit and for being passionate fans of sports. But what is it that makes the Scots Scottish? And if you think of Scotland or its inhabitants, what is the first thing that springs to your mind? The history, perhaps? The beautiful landscapes? The castles? The bagpipes? Or is it whiskey? Fact is that you are likely to find some unique features in Scotland and its people that you won't find easily and originally anywhere else in the world. Today, I'm going to introduce some to you. The first impression on Scottish must be the kilt. The kilt is a popular element of traditional clothing. It is a skirt-like clothes, usually made out of wool with horizontal and vertical bands in a variety of colors. The kilts are worn for traditional events and formal occasions. The Scottish kilt is usually worn with kilt hose, which is a kind of woolen socks. Other accessories, which are often used, are a belt with embossed buckle, jacket, a kilt pin, and a black knife worn in the top of the right hose. Scotland is often associated with the bagpipes, but the interesting fact is that bagpipes are not originally from Scotland. Bagpipes originate from the southern Europe and appeared in Scotland around 1400 AD. The Scottish bagpipe, or Great Highland bagpipe, became established in the British military and achieved the widespread prominence it enjoys today, whereas other bagpipe traditions throughout Europe, ranging from Spain to Russia, almost universally went into decline by the late 19th and early 20th century. Though widely famous for its role in military and civilian pipe bands, the Great Highland Bagpipe is also used for a solo performance. If you are interested, you can visit the annual Glasgow International Piping Festival, which is held in August. Now that I have introduced about the image most people about Scotland, please don't say that they are just the people running around over the hills in kilt all day. They are usually very friendly and are fortunate to live in a beautiful country of which they are very proud of. The rich history, the unpredictable climate, and the dramatic landscape play important parts in daily life. Haggis is Scotland's national dish. Although a good curry comes in second, and for some, even in the first place. Haggis is a dish containing sheep's pluck, the heart, liver, and lungs, minced with onion, oatmeal, suet, spices, and salt, mixed with stock, and traditionally swimmed in animal stomach for approximately 3 hours. If it's prepared properly, it's a real treat. Haggis is traditionally served with the Burns Supper at January 25th, or thereabouts, when Scotland's national poet, Robert Burns, is commemorated. The annual celebration of Burns Nights honors the life and works of Scottish writer Robert Burns, the author of many famous Scottish poems. A Burns Supper is held on the anniversary of his birthday every year, a tradition that dates back to 1801. Whether formal or informal evening, everyone enjoys a hearty feast, consisting of haggis and other traditional food, as some of Burns' poems and songs are recited, usually with the beautiful sound of bagpipe in the background. At the end of evening, everyone joins hands and sings Robert Burns' most popular works when the clock strikes midnight. Despite their name, Highland Games are held all over Scotland, from spring to late autumn. They vary in size and differ in the range of events they offer, and often the smaller ones are more fun. The Highland Games probably originated in the 14th century as a means of recruiting the best fighting men for the clan chiefs, and were popularized by Queen Victoria to encourage the traditional dress, music, games, and the dance of the Highlands. Various royals still attend the games. The most distinct events are known as the heavies tossing the caber, putting the stone, and the tossing the way over the bar, all of which require tremendous strength and skill. Tossing the caber is the most spectacular and the most well-known event in the Highland Games, when the athletes must run carrying an entire tree trunk and attempt to heave it end over end in a perfect, elegant throw. Just as important as the sporting events, the piping competitions for the individuals and bands and other dancing competitions are great fun for the people in Scotland, while you will see young children tripping the quick, intricate steps of such traditional dances as the Highland Fling. For many foreign people, Scotland is renowned for being the home of golf, and many visitors are very keen to play the famous link at St. Andrews in Fife. For the Scots themselves, Soccer is the national passion, and beating England the most important goal. And this is not just in soccer. The soccer game between England and Scotland is fierce, and often leads to violence between rivaling supporters, not only on match day. Other popular sports include hill walking, rugby, fishing. Thanks to the romantic wedding tradition, the Scottish village of Gretna Green is one of the most popular wedding destinations in the world. The tradition of eloping of Gretna Green dates back to 1754, when the law meant that the marriage age remained at 18 in England and Wales, but did not apply to Scotland. Couples began racing to the romantic village of Gretna Green, which was the first easily reachable village over the Scottish border, while it was possible for boys to marry at 14 and girls at 12, with or without parental consent. Scottish law allowed for irregular marriages, meaning that almost anybody has the authority to conduct the marriage ceremony, providing there were 2 witnesses present. As the blacksmith shop in the village, the blacksmith took up the role of blacksmith priest. And for nearly 200 years, couples were married over the now famous marriage anvil by the blacksmith of the village. He would bring down his hammer upon the anvil to seal the marriage. The sound heard through the village would signify the couple had been joined in marriage. This anvil is now the iconic symbol of romance and legend. It is said that good fortune in love and marriage will be had by touching it. There is a fascinating display of memory and runaway weddings. The legend of Loch Ness Monster has been bringing people to the dark expanse of Loch Ness in the Highlands for centuries. With over 1,000 eyewitness accounts, dating back to 565 AD, and a wealth of unexplained evidence, the famous mystery of Ness lives on to this day. This enormous creature is said to have a long, thin body with 1 or more humps protruding from the water and a snake-like head. She is shy, though you need to be quick to snap a picture before she swiftly disappears into the depths of water. Today, there are various boats available to take a closer look. If you're visiting Scotland in a holiday, you must honor the tradition of visiting Loch Ness and see if you're lucky enough to snap a selfie with the Loch Ness Monster.